Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Plant Pathology Pathsala. So in this video we will discuss a new very important disease of wheat, that is wheat blast. So as you all know that in my previous video I have already discussed that blast is also known as brucone in case of rice blast. If you have not seen this video, just watch it, okay? Complete detail about rice blast I have already discussed. So, the causal organism for wheat blast is Magnapothecus oryzae pathotype triticum, MOT. In short form, it is called as MOT. So, it is a pathotype of Magnapothecus oryzae that is known for causing the wheat blast. That is known for causing the rice blast. But by the time the pathogen undergo evolution and it produce a new pathotype that specifically that acquired the ability to infect the wheat plant. So this new pathotype is known as Magnapothecus oryzae pathotype triticum, MOT. This is the best example of the host jump. You can see host jump from rice, it is jump to the wheat. Okay, it is not only in rice or wheat, it is actually the 7 number of pathotypes are reported in Magnapothecus oryzae. So that is known for affecting different wheat or grasses. So if you want more detail about the pathotypes of Magnapothecus oryzae, let me know in the comment section. I will prepare a separate video on the pathotypes detail about the Magnapothecus oryzae, how it affecting the plants, how its exact infection mechanism is there, because this is a very peculiar pathogen. Its mode of infection is very specific. Very important steps are there. It is very interesting one. Okay, so let's discuss about our main disease, wheat blast. So its host is the Triticum aestivum or the wheat. It was first reported in Brazil in 1885. Remember both the year as well as the place. Wheat blast was first reported from Brazil 1885. Then the major importance is it infect the spikes. It's the spikes, so it causes bleaching of the spikes. This is the characteristic symptom. Okay, bleaching of the spikes, ultimately leading to the severe grain loss, and losses can approaches 100% under the favorable condition. See, whichever pathogen is affecting the economic plant, for wheat, rice, this grain part is economic part, here the spike, or in case of rice the panicle. So those where the pathogen is infecting the grains as well as the economic part, that causing the maximum losses. Okay, and that are the major important pathogens. So under what favorable condition this 100% losses may be occur? That are the warm and humid wheat growing region. So warm and humid condition is the favorable condition for this disease, and it is of quarantine importance. Major exotic disease threat to rice, the threat of rice to threat of wheat to India, particularly because its occurrence in the neighboring Bangladesh. See, in 2016, epidemic of wheat blast was observed in Bangladesh. That's why quarantine measures has been taken to restrict its spread to India, because it was not extensively reported in India. That's why it is a quarantine importance disease for India. If anybody asks you that whether it is reported in India, you just said it is a quarantine importance disease of India, not extensively reported in India. Okay. So wheat blast is a highly destructive disease capable of causing severe yield loss and is of major quarantine concern for India. And hallmark symptom is the bleaching of the spike. See, this type of discoloration seen after maturity when plants start drying, when the grains are mature, but here we will get the premature bleaching of the spike. So let's discuss the disease in detail. Okay, this is just brief. So first about the symptom. So major most important characteristic symptom for wheat blast is premature bleaching of spike. Here in this photo you can see clearly premature bleaching of the spike occur. Then next question is how this pathogen is causing this premature bleaching of spikes. So this premature bleaching of spikes occur due to the infection of the pathogen at the rachis. So at the base, this in the rachis region, this pathogen infect and cause the black necrotic lesions. So due to the necrosis means death of the tissue. So when this necrosis of this rachis region occur, it will stop or it will restrict the flow of photosynthetes from the photosynthetic organ like leaf to the sink part. Sink means the grain part. See, whatever photosynthesis occur in leaf, that will be transferred to the grain for the storage. Okay, if the during the translocation, if in the halfway, if it is restricted or if the transportation is blocked, then the photosynthetes will not be transported into the grain. So this rachis infection blocks the transfer of photosynthetes into the grains, and ultimately the above portion of this black necrotic lesions on the rachis, the above portion are become bleached. Okay, and ultimately this result in small, shriveled, deformed, lightweight grain, obviously because of no translocation of photosynthetes. And in the leaves, typically the leaf symptoms are just similar as the rice blast symptom. Typical eye shaped, you can see diamond shaped or elliptical lesions is there. Here you can see boat shaped, lesion shaped, eye shaped, whatever shape you can see. So this type of lesions, peculiar lesions are formed with grayish center and brownish margin. Okay, this is about the major symptom. In the lower nodes also blackening may occur, just like our rice blast. Okay, so major symptoms include the premature bleaching of spike, black necrotic lesion on rachis, that ultimately leading to the shriveled lightweight grain on the leaf. Typical diamond shaped lesions are formed, which is with grayish tan necrotic lesion with dark margin, and lower node blackening can be observed. Then about the etiology of the pathogen. So the pathogen is the Magnapotheorized pathotype triticum. Nature of the pathogen is hemibiotrop. So initially the pathogen behave as a biotrop, and ultimately after some time it converted or it behave as necrotropic pathogen. That's why it is known as hemibiotrop. Generally what happen, up to the when this pathogen is infecting the first initial cell, that on that first initial cell it behave as biotrop, means it doesn't kill that cell. And then when it spread to neighboring cell after 24 to 36 to 72 hour, when it spread to neighboring cell, that time it start producing toxins and it behave as necrotroph. It kill the neighboring cell. Okay, that's why it is called as hemibiotropic fungi. The infection structure, it produce specialized this sac-like or pouch-like structure that is known as apricorium that helps in attachment as well as penetration of the leaf tissue. Then conidia is same like our leaf blast, pyriform in shape or pear shape, typically two-septate, three-celled structure. Then conidia are produced in conidiophore, which is very important for the secondary spread. This is about the pathogen. Okay. Next, about the source of inoculum. Just similar as the rice blast. It is carried by the infected seed, then also present in the infected crop residue. This is the primary source of inoculum. Infected seed, crop residue, volunteer wheat plants, alternate grass host or weed host, and this airborne conidia, it acts as the secondary source of inoculum. Okay, these are primary source, this is secondary source. Then about the favorable condition, I have already told, warm and humid temperature is necessary for this development of epidemic of wheat blast. So temperature favorable for this disease is 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, relative humidity more than 90%. Then prolonged rainfall or prolonged leaf wetness is necessary. Then critical stages, heading to flowering, because it is affecting the rachis and ultimately affecting the grains. Okay, so heading to flowering stage is very critical, and late sowing coincide with warm and humid weather. It is also favorable for the disease. Then about the disease cycle. So this primary source, these are the primary source, the infected tissue or crop residue or seeds. From there, the conidia will be dispersed by wind, rain flash to the healthy plants whenever the host is available. Then conidia will germinate, produce apricorium. That apricorium helps in attachment as well as penetrating the leaf tissue. Then it infects the leaves, nodes, rachis, ultimately causing the premature bleaching of spikes, and that ultimately leads to shriveled lightweight grains. So key points are rachis infection blocks the movement of water and nutrient to the tissue above, causing rapid spike bleaching. Then airborne conidia are the major means of secondary spread. Multiple grass hosts and voluntary wheat help in survival and build up inoculum. Warm and humid condition is during this heading and flowering result in severe epidemic, and disease can develop extremely fast and cause severe yield loss up to 100% under the favorable condition. So this is about the source of inoculum, the disease cycle, and the favorable condition. Next, about the status of this wheat blast. So world status, it was first reported from Brazil in 1885. Very important. Where it was reported? From the Paraná, Brazil. Then it spread to several South American countries, including Brazil, Bolivia, Paraguay, Argentina. Okay, so it was remain in the South American countries till 2015. Then the first occurrence of wheat blast in Asian countries started in 2016. First report was in 2016 in the Bangladesh. So first confirmed occurrence outside South America during 2015-16 wheat season. The major outbreak reported in 2016 in the Bangladesh, and another outbreak was reported in 2018, that is in Zambia. And it was believed that this long distance spread from South American to the Asian countries are through this seed and plant material trade, infected seed and plant material trade. So it is not like the wheat blast where the airborne uridospore are causing this or spreading the disease or responsible for the long distance spread. Here this from the South America to this Bangladesh, this long distance spread occur through infected seed and planting material. That's why in India, to restrict this disease, quarantine measures has been taken. So for India, wheat blast is considered as an exotic quarantine threat. Remember this line. For India, wheat blast is considered as an exotic quarantine threat. It is not established as a confirmed disease of wheat in India. Special concern for Eastern India due to proximity to the Bangladesh where disease occurred in 2016. The report of blast-like symptom near India-Bangladesh border have been cause of concern, however not confirmed as blast. So it was in general not reported in India. It is an exotic disease or quarantine threat for India. An Indian strategy to combat this disease is by surveillance and early detection, strict quarantine and phytosanitary measures, restriction on movement of wheat and plant material, then awareness and training of farmers and extension workers. So here the high risk region is this eastern region because of its proximity to the Bangladesh. So this is about the status of the wheat blast involved in India. So first report in Brazil, then recent occurrence in outside the South America is in 2016 first in Bangladesh, then in Zambia 2018 in Africa, then in India. For India it is an exotic quarantine threat not established yet. Next about the management. So quarantine and surveillance, the first most important management strategies for India because it was an exotic disease for India. Restriction on movement of infected plant and planting and seed materials, then early detection and rapid destruction of infected foci. Okay. Then about the use of resistant variety. See, whenever the blast or any disease where gene for gene hypothesis is already established, this or where the resistant variety or resistant genes are available, the best management practice is the use of resistant variety. So this particular segment of chromosome 2NS by 2AS, this chromosomal segment is very important source of resistance. Remember this point also. The use of diverse resistance sources and pyramiding of genes or resistant genes for making durable resistance. Avoid dependency on single resistance source as failure of resistance or it will increase the selection pressure on the pathogen. Then other cultural practices for the management of diseases: timely sowing, avoid late sowing that coincide with warm and humid weather during heading, then crop rotation with non-cereal crop, the removal of volunteer wheat and alternate grass host, proper residue management because it is a residue borne disease, and use of disease-free quality seed because the primary source of inoculum is residue and this infected seed. Then about the chemicals. So fungicide can reduce the disease but are not a standalone solution. So combination of triazoles and strobilurins can be used, like the tebuconazole plus trifloxystrobin. Very important, remember this. Okay, combination of triazole and strobilurin based fungicide. So apply need based spray at booting to early flowering. Then rotate the fungicide with different mode of action to delay resistance. You can use the FRSC code to make the combination. Then seed and planting material, use disease-free seed, avoid seed from blast affected area, then treat seed with recommended fungicidal seed treatment. Then other supportive measures include farmer extension worker training and awareness, then weather monitoring and disease forecasting, then strengthen phytosanitary measures at the border region, especially the eastern part of the country. Then why management practices is critical? Because this disease develop very rapidly, and severe infection leads to the spike destruction, and it is favored by warm and humid climate. See, due to climate change, already we are facing this warm and humid condition, and this warm and humid condition is favoring the disease. That's why it is a major concern. Then most important is it is spread by airborne conidia. Then seed transmission and multiple grass hosts are there. So multiple source of inoculum is there. That's why it is very critical. Then high risk of long distance spread through the trade and cause severe yield loss up to 100% when favorable condition is there. Then important one line points or question and answers are just few things I have discussed. Please remember this. Causal organism of wheat blast, Magnapothe oryzae, pathotype triticum. Most characteristic symptom of disease is premature bleaching of spikes above a dark necrotic lesion on rachis. Very, very important. Remember this. Then where was wheat blast first reported? Brazil, 1885. Then when and where it was first reported in Asia? It was first reported in Asia in Bangladesh, 2016. Is wheat blast present in India? Answer is, it is an exotic quarantine trait not established as a confirmed disease of wheat in India. Then, what is MOT? MOT means Magnapothe oryzae, pathotype triticum, the wheat infective pathotype of Magnapothe oryzae. Then major source of resistance is 2NS by 2AS chromosomal segment. Key favorable condition for the disease development is warm temperature, high humidity, frequent rainfall, or leaf wetness during heading to flowering. Then best management practices, the use of quarantine measures, use of resistance variety, use of disease-free and or healthy seeds, and other cultural measures like the residue management practices. Okay, so this is all about the wheat blast. I think now it is clear to you all. Still, if you have any doubt, you can mention it in the comment section. So thank you for watching this video.